Okay, so welcome. Happy New Year to everyone. We missed you so much. It just doesn't seem like it's been 2 weeks. It feels like it's been longer than that. So we're real excited to have you on with us this evening on Nurse Talk, and we're excited to have our guest, Peg Coates, that Cindy will be interviewing later. But we always like to share a little snippet of what you're going to be seeing about this amazing product that comes in a blue bottle, which is a gift. And I don't even know what to say. Well,
Too
anyway,
long.
beautiful gift. And some of you on here have heard about what this is, and some of you have probably maybe are new and have been invited by other people to come on. So we're so glad that you're here with us. So what you're about to hear is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. It just allows you, if you give your body what it needs, it'll heal itself. So you'll have an opportunity to put your questions in the chat, and we will answer those at the end of the end of the interview. And what we thought we'd do this evening, so let me introduce myself. I think I forgot that part. So I'm Doria Stewart. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a registered nurse, and I have a wonderful partner. I call her my partner. She's not really my co-host, but she's my partner, and that's Cindy Reed from Nashville, Tennessee, and she's also a nurse. So you're gonna, like I said, she'll be doing the interviewing with Peggy. But let's see, what have I left out here? Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Huh?
Disclaimer.
Okay. Disclaimer, yes. Yes. And is like I said, it's not intended to treat or diagnose anything. It just, you give the body what it needs, and it definitely will heal itself. And we're really excited. And we're excited. I think I'm excited because we have a brand new innovative technology that's coming out. It'll be debuted on February 8th, and it's going to be a game changer. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let Cindy take it from here. She's going to share what the video we're going to see, and like I said, interview our guest.
Yes, and I'll go ahead and talk while I'm trying to pull the screen up. We are so excited that we're here. And Doria didn't mention, we are starting into our 3rd year with Redox Nurse Talk, so we're really excited about that. Your sound. We're going to try not to have any technical difficulties today. We'll see what happens.
There you go.
All right, let me find what our video. Hang on 1 minute. We got it.
Today I want to talk about signaling molecules in the body. First of all, signaling molecules in the human body are doing so many things that we just take for granted. And they're determining how easily your body can stay at homeostasis and have the ability to adapt to things that are coming into your body, sometimes unexpectedly. So the first part of signaling molecules, we're going to talk about the brain. So the brain is using signaling molecules to release and to transfer all of the happy hormones and neurotransmitters that are going on in your brain, like dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine. And so they're dependent on signaling molecules to send and drive those neurotransmitters from one part of the brain to the next and to share information throughout the brain. So your entire nervous system is using signaling molecules to send information down the nerves, and from jumping from one nerve to the next, it's using signaling molecules in order to transfer that information. So our nervous system, which is our most important system in the body, is absolutely dependent on signaling molecules. The next thing I want to talk about is hormones. So we have over 50 hormones in the body that we've identified, and they are actually released and then stopped by a signaling molecule. It'll hit a receptor site and say, hey, I need some of this hormone, please start releasing it. And then another signaling molecule will come in, hit a receptor and say, we've had enough, time to turn that off. And we all know how delicate our hormones can be, and if we're not at homeostasis, we can have all sorts of health problems. Outside of hormones, we have digestive enzymes. We have 3 main enzymes to break down proteins, to break down fats, and to break down sugars. The release of these enzymes are dependent on signaling molecules, again, to communicate when I need and how much I need of these digestive enzymes. So 75% of all your energy every day is used just on digestion. So we want to make sure that those signaling molecules are working the job correctly. Outside of that, we have our immunity. Your central nervous system is tied directly to your immune system. And that immune system is the first response to threats and to anything that could cause harm to you. And we want those signaling molecules to work quickly. And we want the body to respond fast and to be able to return us to homeostasis from any invaders or any toxins or chemicals or things that shouldn't be in our body. It's our immune response and that inflammation response that, again, is all dependent on signaling molecules to get the job done. Then we talk about circulation. The entire lining of your vascular system has the square foot of larger than a soccer field. Now imagine that soccer field has shag carpet in it. That shag carpet is your glycocalyx, and that's the part of the lining on the inside of all your vascular system that has signaling molecules in it that is responsible for letting oxygen and nutrients through and pushing toxins back out into the blood. Not only that, those signaling molecules in the vascular system, they can tag stuff going by that shouldn't be there for removal or repair if it's injured. And so again, signaling molecules is absolutely every aspect of our vascular system to be able to communicate and function well and get the most out of our blood. Now that same glycocalyx that lines our entire vascular system, we have a really thick one that lines our brain called the blood-brain barrier, and we have another thick one that's our gut barrier. So that's the actual absorption of nutrients and food or molecules that the food is broken down to into your system. And of course, your blood-brain barrier is one of the most important ones because it needs to protect and keep all things that could harm our brain out of our brain. So that is so many reasons and so many aspects of why signaling molecules are so important in our body. But I'm going to leave you with one more that's just going to go way deeper. The inside of every one of your 100 trillion cells is filled with the fluid called signaling molecules that are literally driving the function of that cell. All the amazing things that happens inside a cell needs the signaling molecules to do so. Now here's the thing. As we age, we produce 10% less of these signaling molecules every decade. Now we're producing trillions of them every second, and within 100th of a second, we're using all of them. So this has never been anything that we could store for more when we need more. Now, for the first time ever, we have a company that has cracked the code. They figured out how to produce and how to stabilize signaling molecules outside the human body. This was an absolute miracle, and it's doing so much good in the world. For, as I mentioned, as we age, we're losing the ability to produce more. Now we have a supplement that can fill in that gap and help return our cells to actual functioning cells of our youth. Now that is the key to longevity, is getting to principal parts of healing. So we have a supplement now that is not a nutrient to build your new cells, but it's an actual supplement filled with workers for your nervous system that are going to take and send and share information throughout your body to help manage all of the things that I just spoke of. Now, it will take about 8 weeks of consuming this product to get you back to those youthful years. So I encourage you, if you've never heard about signaling molecules, well, now you have. And if you've never tried them, get back to the person that shared this video with you and figure out what it's going to take to get you started and to help turn your life around to that younger, more youthful, more vibrant nervous system and cellular energy and physical body that you've had in your younger years. So I hope this was very informative to you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye now.
I love how he talks about signaling and relates it to the nervous system, because that's the system that carries those signals. So it's huge, and the nervous system can affect so much in our bodies as well. So, like we said, this is our third year, and we're so excited that you came tonight, and we're so excited about our guests. We have Peg Coates on. Um, and I did open up the chat. So if you have questions for Peg, put those in the chat and we'll answer them as we go along or at the end, whatever works better. I'm going to start reading her bio and then we're going to start the interview. So Peg is a Colorado native, but now she actually lives in Maryland. She retired from teaching after 40 years. And when people, I love this part, when people ask Peg, what did she teach? She told them, I taught life with a little bit of science, health, and music thrown in. I love that. Peg loves nature, photography, music, singing, and dancing. She spent much of her life in athletic endeavors, playing semi-professional softball, collegiate volleyball, rugby, and her last sport was sprint triathlons. I'm impressed. She also spent much of her life coaching athletic and life coaching. She's past president of Colorado Coaches of Girls on Women's Sports. She's a two-time recipient of Who's Who American Teachers and worked for the Department of Education, Southern Region as a drug prevention trainer, getting my words tangled here. She worked for the Department of Education, Southwest Region as a drug prevention trainer, helping school districts create drug prevention programs. I think that's huge, Peg. I'm just impressed because I'm not an athlete and I struggle just to work out. So when I see triathletes or people that are involved in, I didn't play school group sports. I did tennis, but nothing other than that. So I'm really impressed to see people that are active and that really pursue things like triathlons. Okay, Peg, I'm just going to start you out. Tell us a little bit. So you've been with this company, with the SIA for 15 years. So at that time, tell us how you were introduced to this and what all was going on in your life at the time and maybe some results that you had.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, when I had a friend give me a call to tell me about this company, the product. She actually was calling me because she really was impressed with the people that are running the company. And she felt like it would be a really big interest for me for a business. But she didn't know at the time that I had some pretty big needs physically, given all the things that I had done to my body. It had taken a toll. At the time I learned about this, I was actually taking 4 to 8 pain pills a day, 17 joint supplements. I had prescribed medicine that I was taking for me to be able to move. And I had done my last triathlon. I went back to the doctor after I healed a little bit from an injury. And I asked him, when can I go back to train? And he basically said, hey, Peg, it'd probably be good. Your muscles would hold your joints together. But I will tell you, go crippled faster. And I do predict that you probably will be in an electric cart in probably 6 months to a year. Now, that was 15 years ago. Okay. And I decided, okay, I'm going to not do more triathlons. It might be time for me to hang up my shoes, But anyway, so I thought, well, I'll give this product a try, right? So I took it. Now, remember everything I was taking. About 2.5 months after I started, I went on a cruise. Now, those of you that have ever been on a cruise know you have to be dedicated just to get to dinner because it's a walk, right? And I went on that cruise and I had forgotten. I really forgot my situation. I danced, I went on exhibition, out to explore. I did snorkeling. I did all this stuff. And then I realized at the end of the trip, I had only had 1 pain pill that entire trip. And I was like, wait, what? I had not refilled my pain pills at all. And so I thought this stuff is miraculous. It's miraculous. It gave me my life back. And right now I am 3 years away from 80 and just starting my life over, really. And very happily, I'm so excited about a new adventure and living in a new place and getting to know new people. And I have that zest for life. And I really think it's because the communicators you just learned about, these little cell signalers, have really repaired me to a place that I can have some bliss and joy and happiness in my life.
Peg, I would have never guessed that's your age. You don't look it, you don't act it. I mean, you just seem to be full of energy and full of life. So you apparently it's working for you, huh?
It
15,
works. It
15
works for
years.
me.
It's anti-aging, reversing your age.
Yeah.
So Peg, tell us a little bit. You've been with the company from the launch or pre-launch. Tell us about well, first of all, I want to go back to someone you know that I saw last year. Tell us Jacob's story.
I will. Now, Jacob is the son of a good friend of mine. And he one night in his silly youth was riding motorcycle. He was without a helmet. He was in an area that he knew well in his neighborhood, but he was going 80 miles an hour on his bike, and he took a turn and did not realize that during the day they'd put an island in there, and they had not put a sign up. And he hit that island going about 80 miles an hour and hit his head, came down on his head. And fortunately, the people behind him were EMTs. They picked him up and got him to the hospital right away. His mother was there immediately, and she waited with him. And 24 hours after he had been admitted, the doctor hadn't come by. And she called the doctors and said, "Where are you?" And they went, "Well, listen, your son has less than 1% chance to live. And so we generally don't come around until we're pretty sure they're going to make it." And she said some pretty interesting things to them and said, "You better get up here because my son is not going to die." And so when I heard about this, I really felt like this product that we have, even though we don't make medical claims, I really felt like it could make a difference for him. And so I shared it with them. My favorite thing about Jacob is, even though he had a brain injury, they had to remove his skull, not his skull, they had to remove part of it. And so he's always been sharp, though. The biggest thing that affected him was his ability to speak. He knew what was going on. He's been sharp as a tack from the beginning. I like to share the story that he was sitting in a chair in physical therapy in Craig Hospital, which is quite the hospital for rehab. And his physical therapist trying to get him to stand up. And the doctor pulled the physical therapist away and said, "You need to stop. You need to stop trying to get him to stand. He's never going to stand up. He's never going to walk again. So just forget it. Okay. You need to just forget this." And then the PT person came back and looked at Jacob, and she saw in his face that he had heard that doctor. And she said, "You heard him, huh?" And he went, she said, "You're going to walk, aren't you?" And he went, and what the product did for him, because when he started trying, before he started using this, he would get up on the parallel bars and he'd get halfway there and he'd give up. He started drinking these little signaling molecules and he'd get to that shaky place, but he'd move forward. And so now, you saw him, Cindy. I mean, he's on his feet, he's talking, he really does talk. His favorite thing to say is, "I love you." And he always carries a little bottle of the liquid with him. And if you want to lose your arm, you try to take it out of his pocket. One of the most wonderful discoveries he made was when they put that piece of his skull back on. When he has hiccups or cough, it hurts. And he figured out how to spray that. That's why he has a spray bottle with him. But he also discovered that it'll stop the hiccups, which I've
That's
never heard
interesting.
before, right? It is interesting. Anyway, that was probably my favorite result. I've had several, but with somebody I've shared it with, that's meant the world to me, to have him come up and hug me and tell me, I love you, Peg, you know, and to see him living. He water skis, you guys. I mean, this guy, he water skis. Uh, so, I mean, he's remarkable. And this is a remarkable gift to share with people. You know, that blood-brain barrier the doctor was talking about,
Mm.
this product will go through there and do some miraculous things with the brain.
And obviously did with Jacob.
It did.
How old is Jacob, would you say? How old is he?
Right now, he's 32.
Okay. And I watched him walk and I listened to him talk. And for a doctor to sit there and tell someone to stop, that he's, you speak words over people. So if you're speaking, he'll never walk again. Luckily, Jacob didn't listen to that. I mean, that's what's amazing. He knew he could do it.
Yeah, he was definitely determined to.
Mhm. It's frustrating first the way the doctors, the hospital handled the whole situation, but to actually tell someone that they can do that, I don't like
Yeah,
that.
it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad we have the molecules, and I'm sure Jacob is too,
he is.
and his mom as well.
Yes, indeed.
So, Peg, tell us about the culture. You've been around from the beginning, so you've met the founder, you've met all the people that are involved in the leadership of this company. Tell us a little bit about that.
This company is so unique. One of the things that caught my attention right off the bat at the launch of the product was the big heart of the founder of the company. Um, his motto caught my attention, which was he always believes, and this company, the ethos is, you'll always put people and purpose over ego and economics. When I heard that, I was like, what? This is a corporation. This is a money-making endeavor. You mean to tell me you're going to put principles and people before making money? Really? Now, I've been watching for 15 years, and this company does that. It's a foundation of what they do. The decisions that they make are based in principle, honesty, integrity, and people. People matter, you know. Um, the first time I met them, one of them said to this group of people that were there to look over the company, if you're here simply to make money, you might as well leave now. And I'm like, what? And I have watched them for 15 years stand by their principles, right? And the culture, the people that are drawn to this company are people that have generous hearts. They care about people genuinely. They're not there just to make money. They're there because they care so deeply. I love the people. We're a family. It doesn't matter if you're in the field, so to speak, out there sharing product, or whether you're in the corporate offices, doing the production, the manufacturing, making decisions. We're all one family making a difference in the world. Matter of fact, the mission is to be a force for good in the world. Now, I could attach my wagon and my star to that always, to be a force for good. Yep, that's it, Cindy. That's the culture. They're family.
Right. They are. And I remember going to one of the conventions, I guess a couple of years ago. And when your founder and some of the other leadership come out and sit in the audience with you, I mean, it's not like they're up there away, unapproachable. They're out there interacting with you. They're talking with you, joking with you. I mean, it is. It's like family. And apparently the principles and the purpose above the ego and economics works. I mean, we've been around 15 years at this point. And I
Right.
think we're, some of the top network marketing companies. Um,
Can I share one more thing, Cindy?
absolutely.
My throat's getting dry. I went to a training really early. And when I walked in the door, and this was in Utah, they flew people in for this training, first level training. And there were several of us there. I would guess probably 40 people, 50 maybe. When I walked up to register, the woman registering went, "Hi, Peg." And I was like, "What? Oh, hi." And then I realized something. Here's what I realized. They had clearly been taught, in this company, we call people by their name. You need to know every single person here. You need to greet them by their first name. And Vertus, the founder of our company, would come in to different big conventions, and he would stand in the back of the room. And you could walk right up to him, and he would greet you by your name, and he would ask you how you were doing. And if you had talked to him before, he would ask how that situation was going for him, for me. Come on, the founder of a company having that kind of personal relationship with people. I am blessed that I had the opportunity to really get to know him and to know his family. They're very good friends of mine. And I know that I am lucky to have had that and still have that right now. Tomorrow, I look forward to spending time with his daughter and his son. And so, it's a blessing. It is a family. I have friends all over the world. I can,
You
yeah. And so it's available to all of us to join into this family.
you literally do have friends all over the world. So you
Literally.
mentioned you're going to see Tyler and his sister tomorrow. So tell us, that was leading into my next question. Tell us a little bit about what's going on tomorrow or this
Oh boy.
weekend. Contain your excitement, Peg.
Okay, I'll try to do that. Hey, calm down. Tomorrow, the company has invited people that are a certain level to come in. On Thursday, they're going to be introducing a new product. Now, this new product is going to be remarkable. It is a whole big quantum leap in terms of what it can do for our bodies. Now, you already saw signaling molecules really help all the systems in our body. Better communication, right? What if they could actually target a single gene that was controlling inflammation, that was controlling recovery? What if they could put every bit of their technology and focus it on that one gene that's found in our bodies? Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody that's dealing with inflammation, guys?
Not at all.
No. On a day when you have nothing going on, simply watch people move. Watch them walk. And
Well, when you go ahead, Peg.
I say to my friends, you can sit and see me and I look fine. When I get up, you can tell I'm a little bit on the older side. When I get up initially, once I get moving, things are great. But you can watch people and you can see what's happening by the gait that they get and by getting up out of their chairs. It's fascinating.
You know, it's really interesting if you're sitting in a hospital waiting room and you're sitting there because you're going to sit there for hours or a long time. So I like to watch people and you can kind of figure out what's going on sometimes with them. But when you mention inflammation, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Basically, you're talking about potentially, not always, discomfort, maybe pain a little bit. So yeah, if something could target this, Peg, this would be amazing, wouldn't it?
It would be amazing, and we already have a gel
Mhm.
that, when I first started, all we had was the liquid. And I didn't mention, I've had 5 rotator cuff surgeries. 5.
Wow.
Doctors tell me, "Peg, you have 2 shoulders." And I'm like, I know. But 5 rotator cuff surgeries, 2 knee replacements. My bones in my neck are fused from rugby. So, I'm a project, right? But if you take, and all they had was this liquid. When I first joined, I had to spray the liquid and rub it in to try to get some relief and target it. Because when you drink it, the body directs it. The body will tell you where. I can drink it and go, please fix the shoulder. But the body goes, no, that's not where it's needed. Okay. But they came up with a gel that I could then apply and see results for that discomfort in a very short time. This new product, you guys, people are saying it's almost instantaneous. The recovery, the relief, all of that. So am I excited? Very. Over the moon excited. Because what can this do for the people that we care about and we love? What can it do? It can't
Well-
hurt because it's native to the body.
Right.
Native. Yeah.
And so, Peg, that's our purpose. That's our passion. Doria, you and myself and everyone else on the team is to share it. Like you said, what if this would help? They won't know about it unless we tell them.
That's right.
So that's our jobs. That's Virtus's command, is go out and tell people, share it with the world.
Share it with the world. And you know, the way that I do that, Cindy, is I talk to people not about, oh, goody, you're going to be my next person. No, I talk to people because I want to know them. I really want to know them. I want to know what's important to them. What is their life purpose? What do they want to achieve in their life? What keeps them from that? Because that's my mission. My mission, personal mission, is to help people get over, under, around, and through whatever keeps them from being all they can be. Whatever that is. For Jacob, it was an injury that he was told, you have less than 1% chance to live. Right? For me, I was told, 6 months to a year, you're going to be in an electric cart. Now, I don't want to discourage people from being in an electric cart, but it's not what I want to do. I want to be able to motor on my own, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah, you actually did what I was going to ask. I was going to ask your motto, so you did great with, I love your mission statement.
That's it.
There are a couple of questions in the chat, and then I'm going to let Doria also ask her questions. Let's see.
I see one now. Can I address it
Yeah,
real?
absolutely.
I don't even know if I'm supposed to mention this, but this lupus thing, this question about lupus. My body said to my doctor that that's something I had when I first started.
Hmm.
And that doctor told me about 2.5 years later, we don't understand. The markers are gone. Where are the markers? Why? I smiled because I understood why, right? So, we can't make claims. We can't. All we can do is see what it'll do for us. And a lot of it has to do with how we operate as well, the choices that we make, for sure, but so I wanted to address that. Again, it's inflammation, it's a form of inflammation for sure, unless you nurses probably know a whole lot more about that than I do, but
We see it quite often.
yes, I'm sure.
There's another question here about Jacobs. Is what were the doctors curious about his recovery, and did you share ASEA with the doctors?
They weren't curious. I
And
wish
that's sad. That's sad.
It really sad. It is sad. They were not curious. They were more focused on these are the limitations that you're going to have. Fortunately, his mother would not listen to that. Is a forward thinker in that way. So, and that physical therapist too. She let Jacob be the determining factor in what he was going to do. So there was not that response. Doctors, it's interesting because a lot of doctors, you guys that are around doctors quite a bit, I think the biggest success if you're dealing with doctors is if they have a family member that's ill, because I hate to say this, but I've heard that oncologist doctors will not give their family the recommended things they're doing with their patients. And so, it's, I don't know. I don't want to say too much more, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So,
think we're thinking the same thing.
yeah, right.
Yeah, we could go down that rabbit hole. We might get in trouble.
Yeah, we could get in really big trouble. I'm pretty sure we could.
There's another question about Jacob. How long was his recovery and how much did he drink? And did he have Renew Gel as well?
He did have renewed gel. He, at the time, he was drinking 4 ounces, 4 ounces in the morning, 4 ounces at night. And he was doing the gel as well. And as I said, he always has that spray bottle in his pocket. I've never seen him without a pocket, without the bottle in it since then. His recovery, I want to say it's probably took about, it progressed over time too. I would say probably at least a year and a half. Um, Certainly, you know, his speech progressed that during that time. He's had a couple of interesting, he's an adventuresome type person, right? So if he goes out at night and goes in to get a Coke or something, he has no ability to speak beyond hi, mom, I love you. Now he does, but he can get himself in trouble because he can't speak, so if somebody goes, what are you doing out this late? And he doesn't answer, you can see the issue. So, so, um, but, so that's it, about a year and a half, and it's still progressing. He's still getting better all the time, I will say this about Jacob. He is relentless in terms of wanting to help people. We did a physical, metaphysical fair one time, and I was running a table there, and he was there with me. And this woman walked by, and he was like, like this, and pointed at her. And sure enough, she'd been in a terrible accident. And he was just like, get this, she's got to have this. And I think that he would be so successful if he could speak it. His mother has not been that supportive of him going out and really sharing this, but he loves this product, and he loves this company. This company loves him, embraces him and loves him. I think
And
he's
well, over time, the more he's on it, we may see more results, and he may continue to talk, and he may get to where he can actually have a conversation.
yeah. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? No, not really.
It disappeared for a minute. I saw part of it.
Mine. It's one of his paintings.
I think it's blending into your background.
Yeah, it's getting in.
There it goes. Okay, I saw a glimpse. That's pretty cool. Yes. Oh, well, I lost it.
Sorry, I don't know how to.
That's okay. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Doria, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you ask any questions you may have.
Okay, so I have a few comments and questions. So, I can relate to so my son was on life support and had 10% neurological function, but, I didn't know about this product. He passed away 9 years ago. It will be February 1st.
Oh.
And that's my why for sharing this product, because of all the testimonies that I've heard that you shared about Jacob and others, there's a lot more than what you have shared. And it's why I share it, because I know that had I known about this product, which, it was, ASEA has been around 15 years, no one approached me about it. But so that's why I share it to as many people as I possibly can. I'm just so thankful that that the mother was, because sometimes as parents, you listen to the doctors. We're trusting more of the doctors than anything else. So I'm just thankful she said yes. I wanted to talk about the inflammation. You talk about inflammation, oxidative stress. They are the two main culprits that cause all kinds of various health challenges with everyone. I work in a GI, gastrointestinal recovery room, and every patient that has a colonoscopy or an upper endoscopy has inflammation, And so it is, it's exciting to hear about this new product that's coming forth, about what it's, how it's going to help, people. And, I love ASEA and I love Renew 28, because Renew 28 came out as an aesthetic product. And I don't know what the word would be. Peggy, you could probably pick the word better than I could, because you're an educator. But, they didn't not just use it for their skin, for looking beautiful. They found other purposes for it, just like the ASEA liquid. Jacobs put it in a bottle and thinking, oh, okay, this might help with that. And I know when this new product comes out, I think we're going to probably be doing some of the same thing, trying to find more ways that it's going to be more helpful. We also talked about, you were talking about the brain, and I love Cindy. She picked this beautiful video, which was so eloquent, and for what we heard about Jacob, about the brain, with Dr. D. Brincat. But when they did a study, the Tort Lab study was gene expression, and one of those areas was the brain. And just like you said, it crosses over the blood-brain barrier. So those were just some little comments I wanted to share. But I do have a couple questions. So all the meds that you were on for all your different conditions, joint discomfort that you were having, did any of those have side effects?
Oh, that's a great question. That is a really good question. That's been a while back, that's 15 years ago. So I really can't honestly answer whether I did. I'm sure I must have, but I don't recall. I feel too good now, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So turning that to the other, so does ASEA or Redox have any side effects?
No, none whatsoever. I'll tell you what's interesting is it is native to the body, and people don't understand that. Okay. So it's not like organic. I have people, oh, you mean it's organic? I'm like, it's not organic. It's native. We make it in our bodies. We already make it in our bodies. So our body doesn't have to try to figure out what is this stuff. It like knows what it is, and it goes to work right away. So we don't have the side effects. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I get amused, really amused, at the advertising that we see on TV that has about 10 seconds of the name of something, and sometimes they don't even say what it's for, and then there's 45 seconds of side effects. But you might cause, you might decide to kill yourself, you might have heart attacks, it might make you sterile. I mean, it's like, I'm just listening to that and go, oh, for heaven's sake. I love what you're saying. The side effect is good health. That's wonderful, Larry. I agree. People, it's just a very hard thing for people to grasp. And I like to say it is bioidentical to what we have inside our bodies. You guys, I don't like to call it a supplement. I like to call it a replenishment, because my analogy also is the cell phone. If you think of cell phones, if I'm almost 80 and I'm operating with 10% less, bars, oh my gosh, I don't want that. I don't want it in a refrigerator or a car, much less a body.
Yeah. Yeah. So where do you think you would be had you not had this not crossed your path?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I would be in an electric cart, or I would be, under the ground. I think it would have been severe enough that it would have been really, the quality of life would certainly not be where it is right now. If I had not taken that turn, I would know so fewer people that I adore. I wouldn't be able to travel the way I travel and be welcomed by people that welcome me like family. I wouldn't have been able to make the differences I've made for the people who matter to me, or for the people I don't know very well. I had the pleasure of working, and I figured out 9,000 kids in my career. And wow, the fact that they reach out sometimes and still involve me and remember me when I taught them in 7th and 8th grade makes a huge difference. But now, with this second career of working with this company and with this technology and with these beautiful people, my life would be really not great. I would be, I wouldn't be very happy, and I don't know if I'd be around.
Yeah.
Good question.
All right. And then lastly, so we know when we were just talking about that earlier before we started the recording, was that nurses and teachers are, similar in lots of ways. So, I just retired a few years ago. And so I have my pension, which is very little, and my Social Security. So if you had retired with just your pension and your Social Security, think about where you are now with ASEA. What has that afforded you to do, had you not, had this wonderful opportunity come across your path?
Well, let me tell you something. I figured out quite a while back. I retired in 2005 from teaching. And I realized before I got to 2005, I needed a plan B. Because, in the state of Colorado, we have a pension, certainly, but we don't pay into Social Security. And so if the state of Colorado decides they need extra money and they come for my pension, I realized I would be in serious trouble, really serious trouble. So I decided I needed a plan B, and that's what got me into this industry, was a plan B. And it also fit my mission to make a difference in people's lives, right? And so what has it afforded me? It's afforded me the ability to travel, which I love. It's afforded me the ability to continue to make a difference in the world, which is huge for me. And it's given me the opportunity to know spectacularly generous, wonderful people that are making a difference in the world, big difference in the world.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That's exciting. It's, I love that. And that's why we're all here for sure. Cindy, do you have anything else?
I don't. I just want to thank Peg for coming on and sharing her testimony as well as Jacob's and about the company as well. We are so blessed and honored to have you join us.
Well, thank you. I'm really honored to be with you all. I told you guys before the call how incredible nurses are. Incredible humans. You guys do really incredible work. Your hours are long. Your hearts are big. So I'm really honored by you. I said to these two at the beginning before the call, nurses and special education teachers are angels in my world. And we get an opportunity to share these things, this technology in this company, and make a difference in the world. And that's everything. That's everything. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to be a small portion of this. And I do hope that you guys will take a look at it. Those of you that are new, really take a look at this.
Yes.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
We will be sharing this, uploading it to our YouTube channel tonight, so anyone can go back and watch it again or share it with people that you know as well. Doya, you want to close us out?
Yeah, so I think Peg did an excellent job there at the end. But yes, and that YouTube channel is at Redox Nurse Talk is how you find it. So that'll probably be uploaded within the next 2 hours, and we have a lot of other wonderful videos up there as well. So if this is your first time being on this this Zoom tonight, please reach out to the person that invited you so they can give you more information about anything
Today
else
I
that you
want
might
to
need
talk
for
about
this.
signaling molecules in the
Oh.
body. First of all, signaling molecules in the
You
human
decided
body
you wanted to talk
do
again.
so many
I didn't do that. I think someone else
That's
must have it
okay.
They're
going.
determining how easily your body can
There's
stay
someone not
in
muted.
homeostasis. and have the ability to adapt to
Oh,
things that
let's
are coming
see.
into your body, sometimes unexpectedly.
You see anybody
So
not
the
muted? It's
first part
fine.
of signaling
Can
molecules
someone mute?
on the brain. So the brain is using signaling molecules to
It's Peg.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's okay. You
Yeah.
know, we're not perfect. We're all about being true and honest and authentic. So, it's all right. Just shows that anybody can do what we do. So, but next week we have Rebecca Weems that'll be on for actually wasn't going to say who we were going to have on because I'm so excited. So she's actually going to be on with us next Tuesday. So we're on, and you can always, if you don't get the flyer from where you're at, you can always go to redoxnursetalk.com. We're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you and good night.
Our recording.
Hi, ladies.
Thank you. Great call.